Hello everybody, it's your boy Justin. Today we're reviewing a found footage film, The Pyramid 2014, directed by Gregory Levasseur. Levasseur? I don't know, it's French. Um, it stars Denis O'Hare as Holden, who you might recognize from True Blood if you ever watched the HBO show True Blood. The movie was produced by Alexandre Aja. The movie also stars Ashley Hinshaw as Nora, who is the daughter of Holden, and you got James Buckley as Fitzy, who was like a YouTuber slash English actor. He was in a TV show called The In-Betweeners, some kind of British sitcom. Yeah, so I've been meaning to watch this movie for a long time now. And it was on a lot of people's favorites, like, found footage movie lists, but at the same time, it also has bad reviews. So I was a little curious, because in the movie, you look at the trailer, the movie looks great. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh, I kinda get why some people are pissed off about the movie. Because the movie, the plot of the movie, it's about like this father and daughter team of archaeologists that go to Egypt, where they discovered, thanks to satellites, this pyramid that's buried under the sand, right? Only like the tip is like visible, right? So they go to study the pyramid with a documentary crew following them, which is like James Buckley and this other woman. I think Krista Marie Nicola, I guess the actress name is, and they also have this guy who's like Egyptian, but he has like American accent, who wears a cowboy hat. For a second, I thought it was the guy. First you see like a photo of him kissing like Nora that the dad just puts on screen to embarrass his daughter on the documentary, right? And like, yeah, like at first I thought that was Dario Naharis from Game of Thrones, but then like, oh no, like you see him, it's like, oh, he's Egyptian, right? Who has like this drone rover robot, very reminiscent of Johnny Five, if you ever seen Short Circuit, right? Yeah. So what happens is that they're investigating this pyramid, but because of, riots going on in Cairo after discovery of this pyramid, they get told from the university, hey, you need to get out of there, right? The government's shutting us down, right? And a lot of conspiracy stuff in the movie, which I love, by the way. I love, because like you had like the whole SETI, which is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, right? Which is a real life thing. That they talk about the ancient aliens theory, that the Egyptians, the pyramids were made by ancient aliens, right? And yeah, and like they go investigate the pyramid, and they even find like they find a corpse, and they find like from his ring they can tell he was a Freemason. Which is like, holy shit, they're name dropping the Freemasons in this fucking movie, right? Yeah, so they go into the pyramid. There are death traps. There's like weird warnings that there's like cannibal inbred cats that have been in there for like, for like thousands of years. And spoiler alert, fucking Anubis is in the pyramid, right? who is like a CGI monster. So I really enjoyed the movie. The problem with the movie is that there are points in the movie where it abandons the found footage style of filmmaking for like cinematic, like where for more like theatrical cinematic shots, right? Which happens during the big action scenes in the movie, which like most found footage movies are like slow burn, nothing happens until like the last 20 minutes. Here there's consistent action beats, right? Which was pretty cool, right? And for a second though, I thought the Nora character, I thought her name was, I heard her, I thought her name was Laura, and then they're raiding a tomb, so I'm like, oh my god, this is like, she kind of looked, at some point, she had like the braided hair, and she kind of looked like Laura Croft, kind of, but with blonde hair, and I'm like, oh man, this is like the best Tomb Raider movie I've ever seen. So I don't know, I really enjoyed the movie. I kind of like the exploration part of the film. Like you're following these people, like going through this like ancient, like this pyramid. People are falling into traps. There's monsters. Really, it's a really cool movie. The problem is it doesn't stick with the found footage style of filmmaking, which they kind of let you know that early on in the film that they didn't do that, because there are points in the beginning where like they're filming shit and they're like, wait a second, who's shooting this footage? Right? And they even show like there's like one point there's a shot of the satellite in space. It's like, how the fuck are they getting that fucking footage? So I don't know. That's the one problem with the film, is that yeah, it kind of they abandoned the found footage part of the film, and the movie kind of has this cliche horror movie ending where like they spoiler alert, they do like the final girl thing, but it's like, oh, did she get away or did she not get away? Who knows, right? So that's kind of bullshit. But besides from that, I thought the movie was good, and it's only an hour 27 minutes. I think the movie is worth. If the plot of the film sounds like something you would like, I think this movie is worth watching. And the movie is fucking brutal at times because like you have people, like characters fall into traps and shit where they know the character's the fucked, but they don't have the heart to tell them, hey man, like you're gonna die either way. Right? So it would be better off if we just put you out of your mercy, put you out of your misery, right? But they don't do that, and they try to help them, and it's like, yeah, just like it's just, I don't know. I thought it made the movie even more brutal. Like there's a point where a character falls onto a pit of spikes, and there's like 2 spikes, fucking like they're pierced by 2 spikes, and then like horde of the fucking feral cats appear out of like a tunnel in the wall and just starts eating them alive as they're impaled on the fucking spikes. Oh, it's like the movie is fucking brutal, dude. Though there's some shit in the movie that some people would argue might not make sense, but there's a fucking demigod in the fucking movie. So it's like, you could just say it's like all magic. So if I were to give this movie a rating, I think despite its problems, I really enjoyed the movie. But I can see why people hate it, so I'm only giving it like a 6.5 out of 10. The fact that it abandoned the found footage, filmmaking at times when the shit gets really cinematic might bother people, like, because like the whole point of found footage for people who like found footage like myself is that it's very found footage movies are very immersive, right? So it makes you feel like you're there in the action while all the scary bullshit happens, right? That's why they're so perfect as horror movies, right? So the fact that they abandoned it at times to have the more cinematic, shit happen, might bother people, but like as somebody, the movie does try to be innovative, and like it's bullshit anyway, right? So you kind of have to give them some props. They it was a very risky choice that they did, and like to a lot of people it didn't work out, but to me I thought it was fine. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Peace.